Hi, welcome to Bella's Yoga Room. I'm Bella. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we have a let it go practice. So we are going to be starting standing up. It's going to be a flowing practice. So we're going to be moving the body, moving the energy, and helping to let go of whatever is not serving us. So let's come into a standing position. You can have the feet together or you can have them maybe hip distance apart. Find a position that feels balanced and stable. And then moving from the feet all the way up. So grounding the feet down, thinking about engaging those legs, squeezing the thighs, waking up that core, rolling the shoulders back and straightening out those arms next to the body. Palms open to receive. Close those eyes if that feels safe, or maybe just having a soft gaze down. And just noticing, how's the body feeling? Maybe tired or heavy, or if there's something maybe that recently was frustrating you, or you might be feeling agitated in the body. So just noticing that, opening up, all emotions are welcome. They're telling us important information. Notice the breath here. Notice maybe is the body swaying with our eyes shut. It's normal. And then once we've checked in and noticed how the body's feeling, let's open those eyes on our next inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, we're going to raise those arms up just to shoulder height maybe, or an exhale down. Inhale, arms coming all the way up. Maybe looking up at those hands and then exhaling down. Inhaling. Exhale, and you can bend those knees to have a little bit more movement and flow there. Inhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Last time, arms coming up. And this time we're going to open up to the right side. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Just gentle twist here. Soft bend in those knees. Inhale coming up. Exhale. And exhale coming down. Inhale, bring that right arm up. Slide that left hand down the left thigh. And then back as you exhale. Inhale. Stretching up over to the right side with that left hand. And then coming down. Fantastic. A good sign, check-in, is always a bit of balance work. To know, is there something that you're holding on to maybe that's not helping you right now? So we are going to come into a tree pose. So to start with, we are going to be balancing on the left leg. So maybe just coming on to the, rolling up onto the toes, the ball of the foot of that right foot. Hands can come onto the hips here. And you might want to then, and we're just turning out, like so, opening up that right hip, that right knee over to the side, and then just maybe resting that right heel on the inside of the left ankle. You can also bring that foot up to the calf, again thinking about opening up here in that right hip. If you want to bring it up to a higher expression there, then just maybe using that hand to bring that foot up. Hands can come into heart center. Find a nice, steady focus. Keep breathing here. Let the shoulders come down, rolling back. And notice what's coming up. If you've fallen out of the pose or you need some support, you can always have a chair or a wall. It's normal to stumble, to make a mistake. We're human. Punishing ourselves over and over for it isn't going to change it, and it's only going to make us feel more and more miserable. Okay, let's let go of that side. Whew, shake it out. Fantastic. Coming over to the other side. So right foot is grounding down, rolling up onto the ball of the foot of the left foot, and then turning out that left hip now. Hands can be on the hips. Maybe bringing that foot up to the calf. We just don't want to be pushing on the knee. That's what we want to really be avoiding, because that's not going to be helpful. Or just conscious too, if you're noticing that hip is really coming out, bring the foot lower then. That's okay. That's where you are today. If you want to bring that foot up, the inside of that right thigh, feeling that pressure grounding down, and also that pressure from that left foot and still opening out in that left hip. Deep breaths here. Let those shoulders drop down. Notice if they're creeping up. Let them go. Notice how balance is on this side. It's normal to have one side maybe that we prefer or feel a bit more comfortable on. And it's important that we do practice the other side. So good for our brain to practice opposite sides. Keep breathing here. You're doing great. And then when you're ready to come out, slowly let that foot come down. Whew, shake it all about. Okay, let's come to the front of the mat now. Similar to sort of what we were doing before with that breath, we're going to be inhaling in, and then as we exhale, we are going to come and bend those knees, and then inhale, exhale down. So inhaling, and then we're swishing down as we exhale. Letting it go. This doesn't have, you don't have to come anywhere near as low as this. You can just have a gentle bend in those hands, just coming by the sides. A couple more of these. Inhale up tall and letting go. Inhale and letting go. 3 more. Okay, coming up. Notice how the body's feeling. Moving it around. Swing those arms maybe if that feels good for you. Okay. Carrying on from there, keep the feet maybe slightly closer than hip distance here. If you do like your feet touching, we're going to come into chair pose. So hands to heart center, and we're just going to start to slowly bring those hips backwards. And then we're coming into a twist. So that right elbow is coming to the outside of that left knee. Notice that, maybe creating a bit of discomfort here. And so we're trying to work and feel how holding on to things maybe from the past or fears about the future can create discomfort, suffering. Come back to center. Left elbow now to the outside of that right side. Again, feeling the pressure and in that twist here. Keep breathing. Back to center, and then letting the hands just come down, straightening out those knees. Keeping a soft bend though in our forward fold. letting that go. Inhale, coming to our flat back here, halfway lift. And then exhale again, folding. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding. One more time. And then letting go. Shake out the head. Maybe do a couple nods. Step one foot back, then the other, here in our plank, just for a moment. And then lower those knees, bring the toes to touch. Knees nice and wide. And then allowing the hips just to sink onto those heels, allowing the forehead to rest on the ground. Maybe rolling the head, the forehead slightly from the left to right. And then finding stillness. Coming up, back to all fours, bringing the knees back underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Some cat-cow, so cow looking up, and then exhale, tucking that tummy in. Inhale, arching that back. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay, I'm going to lift up that left knee, keeping that knee bent. We're going to do some circles here. That left hip. Slowly one way, and then the other way. And then get that leg nice and long, nice and straight. And then we're going to bring that left knee up behind the left wrist, bringing out those toes, coming into a half pigeon. So that back right leg is nice and long, foot is relaxed. You can stay here on the hands, or you might want to fold down forward. Wouldn't be a letting go if we don't get into those hips, would it? You can always have a block or some pillows here under the head. Nice deep breaths here. Notice here in this pose what's coming up. Maybe some stagnant emotions or stagnant beliefs, or what are we holding on to? Past wrongs that others have done to us. And is holding on to that and going over and over it. Is that helping you? Is that helping you bring you the life that you want? I can tell that if you've come along to this practice today, you're wanting to move that along and make some shifts. So well done. Part of the first step is we need to notice them, notice the patterns, notice the ruminating. And then give our minds and bodies something else to do, something like yoga, something to focus on, something that helps us create the life that we want, the person that we want to be. Last couple breaths here. And then let's come up. Tuck those right toes underneath and bring the legs back to all fours. Maybe wiggle out those toes, the hips, sorry. And then coming to stillness, let's lift up that right knee. Couple circles here with that hip, that right hip. Other way. And then nice and long with that right leg, and then bringing that right knee up behind the right hand, allowing that left knee to sort of walk back a little bit, resting on the top of that left foot. And then maybe folding down over that right leg. Coming into that right hip. And I notice sometimes myself, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do a half pigeon. And sometimes the things that we're avoiding are the things that we need most. So that can be a helpful clue sometimes. Sometimes we need to do the opposite of what we want. Within reason. Nice deep breaths here. Letting the body be heavy, noticing any tension that you're holding on to. Let it go. Each exhale is an invitation to let go of something. Okay, let's come up here. All right, wiggle out those hips one last time. And then slowly coming to lie down. Hugging those knees into the chest. And then allowing the legs to extend. Letting the feet fall outwards, letting the hands rest by the sides of the body, closing the eyes. Noticing how is the body feeling now. Is there something that's come up during this practice that you've thought, probably don't need to keep going over and over that one? What would happen if I let that go? What would happen if each time it came up I redirected my focus into something that's helping me live the life that I want? We can't change the past. Past happened. What can we learn from it? And what can we take into our present to create the future that we want? Last couple deep breaths here. You'd like to do a couple sighs on your exhales. Go for it. And then let's wiggle those toes and fingers. Bring some movement back to the body. Bring the knees up. We're rolling onto one side. Coming into a seated position that is comfortable for you. Bring our hands to heart center. I bow to you and the light within you. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this practice, please let me know. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And have a wonderful day. Thank you.